Hello guys, this is your friend Naruto Audio Fanfics and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto Uzumaki became the master of the 3 legendary summons and the center of every Kunoichi's desire. Hinata Hyuga, Sakura Haruno, Ino Yamanaka, Tenten, Temari, Enko Mitarashi, Hana Inuzuka, Kurenai Yuhi, Tsunade, Shizune, Yugao Azuki, Meitarumi, Simui, Karui, Maboui, Kuritsuchi and every woman drawn to his power. Part 1. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Naruto is a 14 also his hair is now crimson red which he changed his hair to match his sensei hair. Naruto sensei is Drake Uehi which happens to be the brother to 2 sisters known as Kurenai the Ice Queen of Konoha and Shiva the Ice Princess of Konoha. Naruto also is wearing a henga in order to hide his feral look which is slit eyes and 2 furry fox ears. He also has 9 long red furry tails which is because Kyuubi turned him into a Oni. I think Oni means demon. He also gave Naruto the Oni summon or you can call it Hell summon. That summon is one of the 3 legendary summons, the other 2 are holy summon also called Heaven summon. The last one is the Sky summon. Hell summon lets the summoner call forth demons or other hell monsters. Heaven does the opposite of hell, it lets the summoner call forth holy beings and angels. The last one, the Sky summon, lets the summoner call forth dragons, winged serpents, snakes and winged animals like winged wolves and other things like that. Naruto come to this place because he has meet 2 shinobis from Konoha to take him home. He also came to get the Sky summon which he found out it's at this gambling place. The gambling place is known as the Black Serpents and it the kind of place you need a lot of Ryo. Naruto has make over 25 million Ryo in the last 3 years of gambling. Naruto has his money sealed in a scroll which the Ryo is sealed in boxes. When Naruto walks in he goes to the clip cashier to pay for some clips. I never been to a gambling place but I have gambled a lot and I need wait 3 years to go into one, damn age law having to be 21. Can I help you sir? The woman cashier asked him in a caring tone of voice. Yay, I would like to get some clips, he replied back, but the woman looked at him wired because normal kids don't have money or are allowed to gamble, but he did have a shinobi headband on. How much do you want sir? She asked him in the same caring tone of voice. Naruto pulled out Ryo for million Ryo worth of clips. She put the clips in a holder so he could carry it as he left the cashier. He sees someone that's sad and he noticed there a summoning scroll so he goes over. When he gets there he sees there is younger woman that looks like she could be her daughter and both of them has Konoha headbands on their head. Unlike his, Naruto headband means fire like his sensei has. What wrong? Naruto asked the older woman who just looked at the kid in front of her. I had give my summoning away because it was that are my daughter, I not going let them take her, she said, and Naruto know right away that she was a caring mother. So he was going to help her, but the thing that get his eye was the other summoning on the table, it was the Heaven summon. Don't worry, I get it back for you. Naruto sat down at the blackjack table. The dealer reshuffled the deck of cards which was great for Naruto. You in sir? He asked Naruto who paid the opening of 1.000 Ryo which shocked the women from Konoha that he going to help them. The other men put their money on the table. First man get a 6 and a face down which means to Naruto +1. The other man get a 7 and face down and that means it's +2. I love courting cards. The last person beside him get a 8 and face down which means it's still +2 because 8 is not a plus or a minus. Naruto had a ace and face down. I not going say plus and anymore, just did it to show you he courting cards. Naruto looked over to the man with 2 summons and asked him. What would take to make you pay both of the summons? The man just smirked at him. 1 million Ryo, but once he said that Naruto put in 1 million and the man just throw the 2 summons on the table. How about you wish me good luck? He looked at the woman who was confused about he just asked. How can I do that? She asked him, which he just smirked at her, then said, like this. He then kissed her lips, which made her blush a few shades of red. The first man who had summons turn over king, which makes him 16 now. Then he tells dealer to hit him. He then gets a 4, which he then stays. The second man turn his card over to show a 7, which he puts other 5.000 Ryo on the table and tells dealer to hit him. The dealer put his card down, which was a jack, meaning he was now 24 and lost this round. The 3-man turn his card of to see a 3, which he just smirked, then put in 10.000 Ryo, which he them said to the dealer, hit me. He get a 9, which he looked over at the first man and smirk at him. Naruto turned his card over to see a king, which means one thing, blackjack. The dealer yelled out, winner winner turkey dinner. Then the dealer hands clips and summons to him, which Naruto handed the older woman the summon back and put his clips in the holder and get up. Before I leave, I have tell you that giving away the heaven summon, one of 3 legendary summon in a blackjack game, is dumb, he said to the man, then kissed the older woman on the lips again as she just smiled happily because she get her clan summoning back. But what shocked Naruto the most was the fact that there on the wall was the sky summon in a class case, and he was right about it being here. I wonder how much they're selling the sky summon for? Naruto asked out loud to be heard by the owner of the scroll. I'm selling that for 15 million Ryo, he said to him as Naruto just smiled, then pulled out a scroll and unsealed 5 small boxes. He handed the man 3 boxes, then said, each box has 5 million, if you don't believe you can court it. No need, he said back as he gave a sign to the man guarding the summon to open the case and bring it to him. When the man handed Naruto the scroll, which now Naruto was happy because not only did he get 1 more legendary summon, but he has all 3 now. He sealed the other 2 boxes in the scroll, also the 2 summons as well. You 2 want go somewhere to eat? He asked the 2 women from Konoha, who just nodded to him. As they're getting into the dinner area, there see 2 more Konoha, which makes Naruto pissed and woman wonder why. This where you are? I was wondering why people my sensei sent to take me to Konoha never showed up at the door of the gambling hall, Naruto said to them, which both of them blushed. First one was a woman with purple hair, also she has a tan jacket on that goes to her knees and fishnet shirt. She also has tan skirt on, but what get he right away was her amber eyes that Naruto was drawn to. The other person Naruto knows who she is because she's seen her a lot in his sensei home. Kunoichi-chan, I didn't know he asked you come and get me, Naruto said to the woman with ruby eyes. My brother is your sensei, so it was good idea for me to go. My friend here is Anko, she said to Naruto, who just smiled at her. I never get you names, he said as he looked back over his shoulder to the woman with brown hair. My name is Inuzuka and this my daughter Hana, she said to him as they sat down. Both there all see something move in Naruto orange, black jacket pocket. Out come a little fox head, which Naruto reached down and picked her up, then sat her down on the table. The little red furry fox looked around, then Naruto called over a waitress. What can I get you, sir? She asked him. What do you 4 want? It's on me. Once he said that, there just smiled a big smile. I have 3 plates of dangos, Anko said to her. I have plate of dango and soup, Kurenai said to the waitress. I have plate of ribs, Sum said to her. I have the same, Hana said to her. I take bowl of beef ramen, a little bowl of milk and also a glass of red wine, he said to the waitress as she put the order down and walked away. I never would have guessed that you drink wine, Anko said with a smirk on her face. There are a lot of things you don't know about me, Miss Anko, Naruto replied back with a smirk on his face. Why did you pay 15 million ryo for that summoning scroll? Tsunami asked him. Let me tell you about them. The three legendary summons are Demon, Hell, Heaven, Holy and Sky Summon. I now have all three of them, and what do they summon? The Demon, Hell lets me summon from 30 different demons or monsters. The Heaven lets me summon 25 different kinds of holy beings and angels. The Sky Summon lets me summon dragons, winged serpents and other winged animals, Naruto said to them, which everyone was shocked. Kunoichi-chan, can we do that game of poker like you said we would do if we meet again? Naruto asked with a smirk on his face. Sure, but let's invite everyone else, she said back to them, which Tsunami was about said hell no. But remember, it's not for money like last time, Naruto said with a smirk which caused Kunoichi to blush and everyone to raise an eyebrow. What did you do last time? Hana asked him, who just smirked back to her. Strip poker, was only thing he said as all four girls blushed, but Kunoichi had darker shade because she did it last time. I'm in because I'm bored, Anko said, and others two women nodded. The waitress come back with their food and Naruto put the bowl of milk next to the fox, which start drinking it. Your fox is kind of sad. I think we should do something, Hana said to him, who just looked at the fox. I know, and I have an idea, because it works every time she like this, Naruto said as he get up from where he's sitting and heads over to the piano. Everyone was wondering why he's sitting down at the piano. Naruto started to play the piano, which he then starts to singing. This Broken Soul by Rebecca Nubul. O holy land, come ancient spirit, take up my hand and guide me. Everyone that was listening think that they're singing to an angel sing because of how his voice is so soft and gently. The fox looks happy because she loves hearing Naruto sing. Pull me to shore, rivers are rising, look in this heart and find me. Kunoichi was just looking at him play the piano and listening to his gently words that coming out of mouth. I've lost my way, your voice is silent, I need you here to remind me. Tsunami looked at Naruto and listening, she remembers her husband who has been died for 10 years now. She smiles at him, which she couldn't believe that someone could song like an angel, like he does. Show me now how to find my home, all I am, surrender. Anko was now thinking about her past and she couldn't believe that this kid could sing so great. He was singing like no one was around him, like no one was watching him. He could easier sing his heart out without worrying. Let the water flow right through this broken soul. Naruto just kept playing the piano without caring what people think and was looking at. When Naruto plays a piano or sings, it just makes him feel free from everything. From being Noah's Kyuubi kid or demon brat and the hate. He just feels free from everything. I fought by your side, ashes still burning have proved my worth, so tell me why. All four women just look at the 14-year-old boy and wish that someone like that could be with them. All had the same thought if he was older. The people beside them are listen on as they enjoy the song and food. I've lost my way, your voice is silent, I need you here to remind me. The fox starting to yelp happily and start to going around and around. Four women smiled at the fox, then looked back at the singing angel. Show me now how to find my home, all I am, surrender. Naruto just played on and closed his eyes as he images the people he cares about. He thinks about times he had and lost. Tell me that you can forgive, bring me peace that I may live. Everyone notices tears coming down his face as he say forgive. It was like he did something in the past that he wishes that he could be forgive. Naruto thinks about the person he had lost 4 years ago, she was like a sister to him. Like a person that he could trust and never would leave. Show me now how to find my home, all I am, surrender. He kept on playing and singing with tears coming down his face. The images he was having now was the time when she helped him find his home when no one else would help him. Oh sweet rest, find me at my home, stay with me forever. Now he more tears come down his face and four women wish he would stop ripping his soul and heart apart, just stop playing their thought to themselves. Naruto was now thinking about her grave and crying as he fall to the ground at the grave. Let the water flow right through this broken soul. When he get done he walked over to his sit not listening everyone clapping. When he sits down Hana wipes his tears away and he lays his head on Tsume's chest but she doesn't mind because she wants to comfort him. When they're get done eating their food Naruto put the fox on his head which just lay down and fall fast asleep. Let's get to my room to play poker, Naruto said trying to make a happy smile. When they're get into the room they're sat on the king-size bed, Naruto put the fox on the top of the bed so she not get in the way. When Naruto took poker cards out of his jacket Kurenai was giving him a evil smile. Can you drop the genjutsu Naruto? She said to him shocking everyone but her because he was Naruto Uzumaki the jailer of Kyubi. Sure, was his only replied back as he dropped it and there he was. He had 9 long tail and 2 fox tail with slit eyes. Tsume and Hana was looking at him and was getting turned on because of his feral look. What can you do in that form? Tsume asked him which he just smirk at her. I can small good also I can small you and Hana getting wet, when he said that both of them blushed. Naruto gave everyone 5 hands which Anko just smiling like she was happy. This is 5 cards and you kept the cards you get, Naruto said as he laid down his 3 of a kind kings and a 7 of hearts also a 6 of hearts. Everyone had a mad face on because they're put down their cards and lost. Before I pick who loses a piece of clothes, what happens when someone picks someone with no clothes left? Naruto asked with a evil smirk on his face. That person can do something to them, Kurenai said back with a evil smirk. Then I pick Kurenai, he said which she took off her warping top revealing a black bra that shows little bit of her. After about half hour later, Kurenai was and the other 3 women are down their panties which few more hands later there but that doesn't stop the game. Naruto was in only his boxers. Guess I win again, he said as he moved over to Kurenai and sucked on her causing her to blush. But that when Naruto just forget the game and kissed Anko on the lips, when he did that Anko kissed back. Naruto then start to suck on Hana which caused her to moan and everyone was wondering what going on. Naruto what you doing? Kurenai asked but she only get a kiss on the lips as a replied. I guess I forget about game because I'm around beautiful women, he said causing all 4 of to blush. If you mad and want to go I understand, he said to them but they're just looked at him then take turns in kissing him on the lips. What? Naruto looked at them which they're just smirked. You just need to pick the one you want be with, Tsume said back to him which it was Naruto turned to smirk. You know, when I get back the old man making me take my father name, which means that I going be last of my clan the Namikaze. So I can have more than one wife. If you don't mind sharing how about I date all 4 of you? Naruto asked but only get a kiss from each woman. But one thing if you want to add more people to this you have to ask us first, we have said if she is good or bad, Kurenai said to him and he just nodded then kissed Tsume's lips. Kurenai moved his boxers as Naruto tongue goes inside of Tsume's mouth. Naruto moves his tongue around her mouth to taste her. Tsume moaned into the kiss as their tongues start warping around each other. Kurenai, Anko and Hana are shocked because Naruto was around 12 inches and he only 14. Anko starts sucking the tip of his member as she strikes the base of it with her hand. Kurenai and Hana are sucking on his balls which is causing Naruto to moan. Naruto moved Tsume to his mouth. Once her was on his mouth he start licking her folds then around her folds causing her to moan out. He moves his hands up to her D-cup beasts and start kneeling her. Anko starts sucking down on his member but she only get about half of it down her throat. The 3 women feel something go into their causing them to moan. When there look down there see a tail going in and out of there is Naruto other 6 tails around going around there and kneeling them. Anko starts sucking faster as the 3 women kept moaning the moan get louder as the tail stating going in and out of them faster. When Tsunami came this time it was the 5th time. Naruto removed his tails from the women and got up from the bed. Tsunami, you ready? Naruto asked her, which she looks back at him with a smirk on her face. How you going to take me? She asked, but she found out when Naruto moved her to the ground on her hands and kneels, causing her to smirk. Anko get on the bed and start rubbing herself as she watches Naruto take Tsunami in doggy style. He moves Hana and Kurenai to their feet. He start moving into Tsunami as he starts sucking and rubbing Hana and Kurenai. He moves 1 tail into each of the 3 women and 1 tail in all 4 women. As he does this all 4 women just moan out as they're being entered by both of their holes. Tsunami moves her kneels to her head as she thrusts back at Naruto member as it goes in and out. Tsunami bucks her head up as she being by Naruto. Naruto started to suck on Hana neck, then slowly nibbles on her neck, then her collarbone, causing her to moan out louder. Naruto removes his tails again and lays both Hana and Kurenai on the bed. Because they're both back fall on the ground because of coming so much. Naruto starts thrusting into Tsunami harder and faster. Anko just rubbing Kurenai as she moans. Hana start rubbing Anko as she watches Naruto, her own mother. Anko gets her mouth onto of Kurenai, which she then starts sucking as Kurenai moans and watches Naruto and Tsunami. Naruto feels Tsunami wall tighten up as he feels her juices come onto his, then he moves out, which Hana gets onto her knees and starts sucking his member clean of her mother juices. Kurenai and Anko was now busy with each other because Anko moved into a 69, so both of them started to eat each other out. Tsunami was now panting as she sees her daughter suck Naruto clean. He moves her so her face is at her mother, then he slowly enters Hana, which she moans out in pleasure. As Naruto going in and out of her, she starts sucking her mother, which catches her mother by surprise, then starts to enjoy it. Tsunami start rubbing her against her daughter mouth and nose, causing Hana to get a good smell of her mother. Naruto looks over at the pair eating each other out. I had no idea you two like girls. We don't, but something about you make us lose our minds and need to pleasure ourselves, and this the first time I ever had a girl before, Anko said with Kurenai nodding, which caused Naruto to smirk. I give off something because of being a demon now, it makes female go nuts, he said to them, who just look at him with a evil smirks. If you do start only doing girls, then it doesn't work out. It may change your friendship, Naruto said to them, who just looked at each other. We only going touch each other when we having with you, Anko said, and other women nodded, which caused Naruto to smile. He then start moving into Hana with long powerful thrusts, causing her to moan out louder in pleasure. Tsunami gets up, then moves over to Anko and Kurenai. When she gets there she moves to Anko and slowly moves her back off of Kurenai. Then she moved her on Anko mouth as she suck on Kurenai, which causing her to moan out. Then as Naruto start going in and out of Hana, he can feel her coming onto his member. He laid her on the ground, then moves over to Kurenai. He sits on end of the bed, which he moves her onto his member as she moves up and down on him. Anko was now fingering Tsunami, which was now at her end and cum before passing out. Anko move her fingers into her mouth, then smirk. She tastes good, she said as she moved over to Naruto, who cupped her D-cup beasts with his hands. Kurenai moved faster on his member as Naruto to moan and finally cum, which she come feel inside of her. When she feels his seed going into her, she comes onto his member. Naruto laid her onto the bed alongside Tsunami as he take Anko and moves her against the wall, causing her to smirk. She wrapped her legs around his waist as she lowered herself onto his member, causing her to moan. Naruto start going in and out of her as he kisses her neck. He slowly nibbles on her neck, then her collarbone, causing her to moan louder. Naruto kept going harder into her as she was being pushed against the wall, causing her to moan out in pleasure. She looked at him with nothing but love in her eyes, and he just kisses her lips in a loving kiss. She moves her head onto his neck as he moves into her harder. She could feel her so getting closer to coming. After few hard thrusts she finally did. Naruto laid her then Hana onto the bed, which he kissed all four girls, then laid down beside them. When the morning closed, all four girls found themselves sore and was hard to move around. Naruto kissed each one on the lips, then grabbed their cheeks, causing them to blush. Hana looked at Naruto, who was wondering what wrong with her. He notices that she's sad and starts to worry more. What wrong, Hana-chan? Naruto asked as he start caressing for her arms. She looks at him then begins to talk. You are kind of my first. When she said that, Naruto kissed her in a passionately kiss that caused her to smile when the kiss ended. I hope you had a good first time, he said to her as she nodded, then moved her head against his chest. Anko and Kurenai moved over to him. You're her first and my second, Anko said to him, and Kurenai nodded because he the second person for us as well. Sum moved over to him then kissed his neck, which he returned the kiss by kissing her lips. I think we need get dressed and go back to Konoha, he said to them as their nod, but Hana had a smirk on her face. How about me take a shower first? She asked them, who nodded to her. When they're get done having a nice shower, fun there get dressed and headed out of the place. Naruto unsealed his scroll, then took 2 summon scrolls, which he sealed the boxes back into the scroll. He summons heaven first as he bits his thumb, then slams it down on the ground. When the smoke fades away, he sees what looked like a woman in a white robe with 2 long white feather wings. She had a nice chest with long silver hair that was to her nice rounded butt. Was it you who summoned me, demon? She asked him as he looks into her silver eyes, then he begins to talk. Yes, I have summoned you, the summer of the demons and soon to be summer of the sky, he said as he bowed to her. She was shocked that he had all 3 summons of the legendary. My name is Angela, the goddess of the moon and the daughter of Kami and the god of the sun. When she said that, everyone was shocked but Naruto. It's an honor to meet a goddess. I wish to ask you if I may sign your summon. Naruto asked her as she make a smile on her lips. She moved down and kissed his lips, then she took the scroll from his hands. She opened it, then Naruto bit his thumb, then signed the summon. I being going now, but I may visit you again soon, she said with a smirk, then disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Naruto turns to the 4 women and asks, is that a good one or bad one? That one hell of a good one, she a goddess, Kurenai said to him as the others nodded. Naruto then summoned the bosses of the sky summon. 5 cloud of smoke appeared, revealing a white dragon with red deep eyes, a winged serpent with green slit eyes, a winged wolf that was the size of a house and a lot smaller than the dragon and winged serpent. The other are a winged tiger that size of the wolf. The last one is a bird that has flames on it, but it's also known as a phoenix. Who has summoned us? The dragon asked them. Me, the summer of hell and heaven, Naruto said as he bowed to them. You are young, the wolf said to him. Yes, but I'm stopped acting young long time ago, he said back to the wolf with eyes that the 5 could tell are fueled with lust and sadness. If you wish sign or summon, then you may. Just remember, we not tools and we not let someone use us like ones. With that said, the summons disappeared in clouds of smoke. Now time caller ride out, and he most really hate talking to himself, Naruto said as he gave them little giggle. He talks to himself? Hana asked with a raised eyebrow. You see, he has more than one head, Naruto said as he summons a 3-headed dog known as Cerberus. Yo Serb, Naruto said as all women are not about piss themselves. Why? Because 3-headed demon dog that guards gate to hell in front of them. What up? Left head right. We outside for once. The middle one yelled. I have bad feeling about this, the right one said. Told you he talks to himself, Naruto said with giggle, causing the dog to growl at him. Why have you called us? The left one asked, which seems to be more smarter than the other two heads. Can you give us a ride to Konoha? He asked, which the dog gave Naruto a wired look. You going back to that village that killed her? The middle head asked as the right head hit the middle one on the head. The middle realized why the right head hit him. It was because he said her to Naruto. Yes, I really don't have anywhere else to go, Naruto said, causing the women to wonder why and what happened. Who was she? Very well, get on, he said as he lowered his back for them. When all 5 of them was now on the dog back, he started moving to Konoha. Can you tell me who she was? Hana asked in a caring way. She was like my sister. She was like someone I could trust, but then the villagers killed her right in front of me. That was the day I stopped being human and gave into Kyuubi and the demonic power, Naruto said, causing the women to look down. Naruto kisses each one of them, which their smile because of the kiss. You two are Inuzuka clan members, the ones that work with dogs. The demon dog said to them and nodded to him. Then can you raise my puppies? I want them to be in the human world and not stuck guarding a gate to hell like I'm. He asked. The 2 women are shocked that a demon of hell wants them raise his pups. Sure, but where are they? Sum said to him as he summoned 5 little pups onto his head. The 5s look like normal dogs beside the whole red flaming fur, which I really mean flaming. Their tail is also a flaming tail with spike collars around their neck. Naruto start putting the doggies' heads without being burned. Don't worry, the flames only burn if you try to hurt them or they're attacking you, Naruto said to them, which Hana took one of the puppies into her hands and gently petted it. Naruto bit his thumb and summoned 7 full-grown hellhounds. The 7 dogs see Naruto and tackle him onto his back and start licking him. They're happy to see you again. After all, you did raise them since your war 6, Cerberus said, which Naruto smiled. Naruto start rubbing their heads as they're just lay down on him. Everyone else was giggle at the show and Naruto just looked at them. You want come to the village with me? He asked the 7 hell dogs, which just nodded their head and licked his face. Now it's time for the ones that dislike like it. Too bad. Okay, I'm really getting sick of you flamers who think you're some kind of bloody gods. Half of the flamers don't even have the guts to post a story not this site, and they rent and go down on people who put stories up and try to show people their work. This site is for everyone, from poor writers to pro writers. You have no right to flame anyone. Everyone has the right to write what they like, and you don't have to flame like you a know-it-all. We all make mistakes, we not all great writers, and only way to become good is to write. People write because they enjoy it, they want share what they enjoy and like. If you don't like something you read, just walk away. Saying tips on helping is fine, but flaming people for something you don't like or just trying to be an asshole. Do every single people a favor, and if you don't like something, don't say anything. But thank you to the ones that enjoy my stories, put up with my mistakes. For that, thank you again. They really like you, Naruto-kun. He looks at Hana and nods his head before he keeps petting the hellhounds in front of him. He remembers raising them since they were just little pups, but he can even remember each one of their names. Behave yourselves, Blaze, CG, Dark, Rookie, Blade, Silver and Fang. They just look at him as they are panting but rub against him, causing him to just shake his head and keep rubbing their heads. Ka-chan, how do you think Kiba will react to us dating someone younger than us? Sum just looks at her daughter because she has no idea, but it will be funny watching him go nuts. Sum looks at Naruto now and can't believe she was truly dating again, and it felt little strange. I don't know Hana-chan, but it will be funny seeing him react because knowing your younger brother, it's going to be fun to watch. Naruto smirks because this is going to be fun, but he just moves his hands down Hana's leg, causing her to jump, but look at him as he and everyone else sits down on the back of Cerberus. We will be there soon. I really don't like this idea. Right head said, but left one just headbutts the right head, causing middle to wonder which one he should hit. I know, but it's something that I have to do. I'll be fine, so you don't have to worry, Serb. Everyone was looking at him, but he starts to pet one of the new pups, causing the pup to pant happily. He moves his hand on Kunoichi's leg now, which she just looks at him. Anko move her head against his back, but he closes his eyes and lets a smile come to his face. He didn't know what he did to get this, but he is glad that he did. The one thing that was missing from his life, and now he has it. Tell me some about yourselves. They just look at him because even after all they did together, they haven't even talked about themselves, but Naruto knows Kunoichi. She is the only one that he did know about. My name is Anko Mitarashi, but my likes are Dangos, hanging out with Kunoichi-chan and cute red hair charmer that can make me feel good, but I also like torturing people. I dislike perverts and assholes, also my ex-sensei who I wish I could kill. My dream is to be loved, which I am, so my dream is true. Naruto just moves her on his lap and kisses lips, but he looks at the others. He looks over at Hana. My name is Hana Inuzuka and my likes are working at the kennel, trying to help as many animals as I can. Hanging out with my friends, bugging the hell out of my brother, and my dislikes are perverts and assholes, also people that hurt animals. My dream is to help as many animals as I can, but also find a mate for myself. She looks at him and gives him a kiss on the lips. My name is Sum Inuzuka. My likes are a red-hair Naruto who helped me get my summon back, but also saved me from losing my daughter. I should thank you again later, and my other likes are my clan and my son who going freak out. My dislikes is assholes that run away leaving families behind, but also perverts, but you're one pervert, that's okay. My dream is to find a mate again that won't die on me. Naruto leans over and kisses her on the lips, making her lips turn into a smile. You already know me and more than you need to know. Naruto smirks before moves his hand on Kunoichi's back. It was true, he did know tons about her and something only she should know. I wonder how things are going to be like once I get back to the village. First things I have to do, and that's talk to the old man and then find a place to stay at. Hana looks to her ka with a smirk on her face, making her ka to grow a smirk as well. You can always stay with us, Naru-kun. Naruto looks at Hana before he smirks, but that when Anko comes up with a good idea. Yes, maybe he can share a room with me at your place, Hana-chan. Hana just looks at her friend and shrugs her shoulders because she didn't care what room he's in as long as he's in her home. If that's okay with you, then I'll be fine with living with you girls. Anko smiles before leaning back into his chest with her head against his neck, but she can tell he likes the feeling. She feels his arms moves around and rests them on her belly. She takes his hands with her own, causing him to smile. When they see the village, Naruto wonders if this truly was the right thing to do. He jumps off Serb and makes his way to the gates with everyone else. Serb leaves in smoke, but his pups, both baby ones and adult ones, are with the group. When Naruto gets stopped at the gate by two Chunin, he looks at them. Who are you? He just stares at them. My name is Naruto Namikaze and I'm here to see the Hokage. He walks past them, but the two guards see who's with him, so they don't bother to push it anymore. When they get to the Hokage tower, he starts to wonder what the old man will think when he sees him again after so many years. He opens the door to the room, but once the old man sees him, he can't believe how much he has changed in the last few years. You look just like your father. If it wasn't for your red hair, I must say Kashino would be pleased to see you picking red over blonde hair. Naruto just smiles before sitting down in front of the desk and looks at the Hokage. What plans do you have for me, old man? Hokage looks at him before giving him a piece of paper saying that he is now the new head of the clans Namikaze and Uzumaki. They feel that you have to bring back both clans and I know you hate it. Naruto just smirks before looking at the four women behind him. I don't know about that. He smirks before giving each woman a kiss and grabs handful of their. I think I may just like this idea, don't you think so? Hokage didn't know if he is going to have a heart attack, but he just gives a pervert smirk and nods his head to Naruto. You also have to go to the school room at 2 hours, room 218. Naruto nods his head to him before looking back at his Heims. How about we take you to your new home? He nods his head to them before looking back at the Hokage before leaving, giving him a smirk. He is going to love this life he has and hopes no one tries to ruin it. When they get to the clan house, Naruto kisses their lips but is stopped by Tsuna's hands. Save that for later, we have show you your room and you have get ready for finding out what team you are on. Naruto pouts before giving each one of them a few grabs, causing them to glare at him before Anko shows him to her in his room. Everyone else just sits in the living room and hopes they don't take too long to come back to the living room with them. When the two of them get inside the room, Naruto pulls her into a hold then kisses her neck, earning himself a moan from his Anko. Like Sum-chan said, that's for later. She kisses him before moving to the bed. You're one moving to the bed, not me. Anko blushes before throwing a pillow at him. Hitting his face, he grabs it and throws back at Anko, who dodges it. This is your room and you will be sharing a bed with me. He walks over to her and kisses her lips before smiling to her. I guess it's time go back to living room and go find out my team. He looks at her and she just nods before she feels his lips on her neck. We could just stay here and do something better. She just shakes her hand no before moving him away and getting up off the bed. She drags him to the living room where everyone tries not to laugh at what they are seeing. It's time for you to meet your team and for Kunoichi-chan to see what team she has to train. Kunoichi just smiles before looking at him, but he just grunts when Anko keeps dragging him out the door, followed by everyone else. Naruto gets out of her hands and starts to walk on his own. He looks back to see them still giggling at him. It's not funny, so stop giggling already. Tsum just walks up to him and kisses his neck before whispering, behave or no treat tonight. Naruto blushes before looking at her. I guess I have to behave then, but I hate being on Greenhorn team. They just smirk before they get to the place. He just looks at the front doors before opening them and starts heading to the room he was told to go to. Tsum and Hana stand outside of the room because they didn't want to put up with their son right now. He opens the door to the classroom to see a man with a scar on his nose look at him and looks down on a piece of paper. You must be Naruto Namikaze and please sit down. He goes to sit down, but Iruka sees Anko, causing him to look back to Naruto, hope that he's okay. What with that face, Iruka? Me and Naruto get along just great and sometimes really well. She throws a kunai to Naruto, cutting his cheek, then appears behind him licking his cheek. Naruto just turns around and kisses her on the lips, causing the class to stare with mix of fear and confuse. How in hell did you start dating Anko? Naruto just grins before moving Anko onto his lap, causing her to blush but lean against his chest. He wraps his arms around her stomach and looks at his class sensei. I'm just that good. I think time for you to tell everyone their teams, don't you think so, Iruka? Iruka, he just nods before looking at his paper. Team 7 Sasuke, Sakura and Sai, and your sensei is Kakashi. All the other teams are the same, leaving Naruto only one left in the classroom. Where is my team? Iruka looks at him and points to Anko before walking out of the classroom, but Naruto and Anko turn to look at each other, then smirks. I guess I have you beautiful as my sensei now. I guess you do, and looks like Kunoichi-chan has that girl that seems to stare at you a lot. Naruto just shivers. Don't remind me, she always followed me when I used live here. I swear I thought she was going to rape me or something. That's creepy even by me. Let's go get something to eat and tell everyone that I got my first student to train into the ground. Naruto just turns happy, causing her to kiss him before starts to grin a scary grin. You are one strange person, not even getting scared by that but just looking happy like that. Now it's time to get Dango's. He just follows after her, giving her nice slap on the when they pass Iruka, causing her jump and look at him. Hana and Tsunami kiss his neck from each side on his back of his neck, causing Iruka to rub his eyes, hoping he's seeing things and is trying to understand what in hell is going on in front of him. Hana Heim and Tsunami Heim, that where you two have been, and Anko Heim is now my new sensei. Both Inuzuka women smirk before the four of them leave the place. When they get to Dango stand, Naruto takes their order, giving them to the cook before moving back to them, sitting down right beside Anko, causing her just smile before moving her head to his neck. How should I train you into the ground? He just whispers words into her ear, causing her blush and look at him funny. I didn't mean that kind of training. Both Tsunami and Hana laugh, causing her blush more and Naruto to smirk again. Come on, why not? That kind training that can help both of us at one time and be fun. Anko blushes before she lightly hits him on the head, but they see their order coming to their table finally. Anko starts digging in right away, causing three people around her to just shake their heads. What do you girls want to do today? He looks at them before starting to eat his dangos. Let's wait for Kunoichi-chan and then we pick something to do. He nods his head before he sees both Tsunami and Hana starting to eat as well. Once the four of them get done eating and paying for the food, they slowly walk over to Training Grounds 8, where they see Kunoichi passing her team and walking up to them. Hello Kunoichi Heim, I'm on Anko Heim team. Kunoichi paled before looking at her best friend, who's smirking up a storm. You're happy about that? I'm thinking you have lost your mind. Anko pouts after hearing that, but Naruto kisses her, causing her smirk again. Thank you, I need that after hearing Kur-chan being mean like that. Kunoichi along with Tsunami and Hana shake their head at her childish behavior. I'll see you three later and don't do anything dumb. She waves her team off before looking back at her boyfriend. How come you guys are here anyway? We came to see what you would like to do today, we're letting you pick. Kunoichi just looks at the four of them before moving her finger to her lips in thinking pose. How about we go back to your place, Hana-chan, and get to know each other people? Naruto smirks, but she just hits him on the head. Not that kind, getting to know each other better. Let's get going already then, we can't just sit around here doing nothing. Anko drags her new student off to her home with everyone else following after her. You really must want to get to know me better, Anko Heim. This causes two things to happen. First, Anko's face lights up like a tomato, and other thing is she stops dragging him and stares at him hard. It's truly fun teasing you. My sensei blushes so easy around me. His smirk never leaves his face, but Anko just looks over to her friends before they let out a giggle. Anko just gives them a dirty look, but they just keep walking on to the Inuzuka clan house. When they get inside, they get a welcome home greeting by the puppies and full-grown hellhounds. Naruto picks one of the puppies up before petting it. He can feel the puppy panting happily from the petting he's giving her. The five of them sit down on the couch, but Hana takes her sit on Naruto's lap. Naruto in turn moves his arms around her belly. How are we going to get to know each other better? He looks at the other women near him. We talk about what our plans are for the future or near future. Naruto nods his head before he looks back at Kunoichi. Who is going go first? She pokes Tsunami, but Tsunami gives her a dirty look before looking at Naruto. My only plans for the future before meeting you were to raise my kids good, to see them happy and find themselves a mate to have kids with. Now my plans are the same but with few added things like being happy myself and maybe just maybe have another kid. My plans are to have fun and eat tons of dango, but you better give me dangos a lot, plus now I can train you into the ground and have fun doing it. Anko smirks but Naruto just shakes his head at her. She is one hyper crazy woman to him but he liked that a lot about her. It's my turn now I guess and I know my plans are because they are to train my team to the best that I can for them. Plus another part of my plans is to be a great girlfriend to you. Naruto kisses her but his eyes move to Hana. Well, I want to help as many animals that I can in my lifetime but also be a good mate to you. Naruto gives her a kiss on the lips before starting to walk around. Do you remember that I told you that I have become an Oni, right? They nod their heads to him but he just keeps walking around them. I can't die of aging and the ones that I mark as my mate will live just like I do. He stops and looks at the ground trying not to look at the women in front of him. We don't care if you can live forever you foolish man. If you do mark us, I know any of us will be happy to live with you forever. But once Tsume gets done talking Naruto starts smiling at her. She walks over to him but stops to kiss him on the lips. Once Tsume gets done Naruto is smiling at her. She walks over to him but stops to kiss him on the lips in a passion-loving way. Naruto couldn't believe he had got not one but 4 women that treat him like this. I feel like going somewhere to train. It has been a while since the last time I had a good day of training. Hana looks at him then points outside. We have training grounds that you can use if you want to. Naruto face now has a bright smile showing on his face right now. That's really okay with you. Tsume nods her head which causes him to jump and head to the training ground causing the 4 women to just laugh at how he reacted to that. When the women get outside they see Naruto just staying there thinking on what to do. Maybe I should train with my hell summon haven't done that in a while as well. Naruto thinks on which one he should summon to train with but once he knows. He bits his thumb and does hand signs for the hell summon. Once the smoke clears they all see a woman wearing a long red kimono that went all the way to the end of her long legs. The top of the kimono did show some of her chest cleavage giving Naruto to smirk at her. He always liked seeing her, both of them had been friends for years now. Her eyes are a shade of crimson with long silver hair that goes down to her nice rounded. So you have finally summoned me. It's about time. Do you have any idea how long it has been since the last time? She walks over to him with a smirk showing on her beautiful lips but Naruto just stares at her breathtaking crimson eyes. How have you been Mocha-chan? She just stops and looks at the 4 women close by but Naruto just shakes his head because this is going to be one long day. Who are they? Anko is the first to move up to the 2 of them and she doesn't like this new woman or how she is acting or talking to them like that. Naruto looks at Anko hoping this doesn't turn into a fight. We are the ones that should be asking you that here. Mocha starts to show her fangs but Naruto puts his hand on her lower back to calm her down. This is Mocha Akashiya and these are Kurenai Yuahi, Anko Mitarashi, Hana and Tsume Inuzuka. Mocha still doesn't like them at all and same goes for Anko. Behave Mocha-chan please. She looks at him with her crimson but looks away. Naruto fills her into what's going on around here causing her to look at him with eyes filled with sadness. Naruto sees this and pulls her into a kiss because he just couldn't let her be hurt like this. He knows these eyes were the ones of pain and feeling backstabbed but he realizes that he is a fool for not seeing it sooner. He never realized that all the times they had been fighting together that she has begun to have feelings for him. He just wants to slap himself on the head but right now he knows he has to make it right. Mocha's eyes widen once she feels him kissing her and the sadness turns into happiness. With her arms she straps them around his back, she starts to hold on to him for her dear life, not letting go no matter what. What does this mean, Naruto-kun? He just runs his hand through her hair. He looks over at the other four women, but they're just smiling at him, causing him to smile back to them. In this village, the one that I have told you about wants me to bring back my clans. That means I need more than one wife to do that. Mocha blushes but looks at his eyes, trying to see if he's lying, but finds no lies in his eyes. What does this mean? Am I a part of your life now? Naruto just looks at her. You have always been part of my life for years now, you silly girl. She smiles but moves her lips to his neck. Now if you need to have a drink, then go ahead. Mocha gladly bits down on his neck and starts to drink his blood that she has came to love. Tell me, why in hell is she drinking you blood like that, Naru-kun? He looks at Hana with a smile still on his face. That's because she's a vampire, but don't worry, she won't hurt you. They just stare at the two of them like they're crazy. Once she gets done, her eyes go to his, but she licks her lips, clearing the blood still on them off. Can I stay out here and live with you? I would really like that if you let me. Naruto just looks at her eyes before looking back to Tsunami. You have to ask them. I'm living with them in their home. Mocha looks at the four women again, but Tsunami just gives her a feral smirk on her face, causing Mocha to raise an eyebrow to her, hoping nothing bad will happen to her. You can, but you have to share a room with Naru-kun and Anko-chan, but also follow the rules of the house. If you break them, then you can't stay here. Mocha just nods her head, but Anko has a god-smacked look on her face. Summon me again in an hour, please. She disappeared in a cloud of smoke. When Anko looks at Tsunami, who's still smirking at her, she can see that Tsunami is enjoying doing this to her, but she will get payback for sure. Why did you do that? I don't like sharing a bed with a girl like this. I don't go that way and you know it. Naruto just shakes his head because he was right about this going be one long and painful day. If it's not okay, I don't want to force this on her. This makes Anko smile at him, but Hana moves over to him. You two can stay in my room if you need. That's when Anko eyes shot up and runs over to Hana. No way that going to happen. Is he staying with me even if there is a quest with us now? Hana smirks and moves over to her ka. Now how are you going to train me, Anko-sensei? Anko looks at him and starts moving inside the house, but stops and waves him inside. Once they get inside and sit back down, but they are all staring at Anko, waiting to hear what she's going to say. First tell me what kind of shinobi you are right now and what kind do you want to be in the future? Naruto just closes his eyes to begin to think on that. When he reopens his eyes, they move back to Anko's eyes. I'm a close-up fighter and that's the way I want to stay like. Is that okay with you? Anko just does another smirk, but this one is an evil smirk to him, but nods her head, showing that it's okay in her book. That is my kind of shinobi and this is truly going to be fun. Anko just stares at them. Tomorrow we will start you hell training and don't cry to me if it's too hard for you. No matter what, I'm going to drill you into the ground. You try working on. Kunoichi just shakes her head because she is now worried for Naruto's heart after hearing that. I think it will be the other way around. Anko blushes when she realizes his hidden meaning but hits him on the head, but he just keeps grinning to him. He looks back to Tsunami now. Is there anything that I should know? Tsunami moves onto his lap and looks at him before speaking. Only that you better treat us each good and with care, or you will feel pain but also lose us for good. Naruto kisses her neck and moves to her ear. You never will have to worry about me being an asshole to any of you lovely women. He at her ear, earning him a long moan from her. You can't keep your hands or your mouth to yourself, can you? Naruto just stares. Where would the fun be if I did that now? He more making her hit him upside the head lightly. Naruto just holds her close to him. You really don't listen well, do you? He moves his eyes over to Kunoichi. No. This way it is more fun, don't you think so? She just shakes her head at him. Kunoichi, can you help me with something? She looks at him and gives a nod of her head. When I used to live here, your student stalked me every day. Can you tell her not to do that again, please? I had a feeling she was doing that in the past but never asked. I'll fix that tomorrow, don't worry. Naruto smiles because he's glad that the creepy girl will leave him alone from now on. Naruto moves soon and gets up, but he can see that he earned himself a dirty look from her, but he just stares at them. Thank you for being the best women I have ever met to me. They just look at him because they don't think he needs to thank him at all. The reason I added Mocha is because I was planning making a vampire that has a long past with Naruto, but I know if I made a love pairing with a OC I'll get flamed so badly it's not funny. So I though add someone from Hellsing, but then I thought about taking Mocha for the place. Hopeful you guys girls like this chapter and you'll see why Mocha cares for him this badly in later chapters about his past. Reason she tamed is because of their past, but don't get me wrong, she isn't that nice or tamed to anyone but Naruto. I just want to thank you for being nice to Mocha-chan. She really doesn't have many people that ever have been nice to her. They look at him but he just shakes his head before leaning against the wall in the room. You don't have to thank us so much, we just happy we can help you or your friends. He smiles but he hears the door open to see a kid around his age or maybe year younger than him. You again? Who are you and why are you in my home? This is the person that dating me and your sister. You better not do anything dumb, son. Kiba just looks at her like she's crazy. He just stares at his ka and sister before looking over at Naruto with a pissed off look on his face. Who the hell do you think you are, dating my ka and sister like this? Naruto does show that he doesn't even bother dealing with the pissed off Kiba in the room. He just closes his eyes and doesn't pay any mind. Naruto looks back at Tsunami and causing Kiba to walk up to him with a fist made. He takes a swing at Naruto but only hits air where he used to be standing. Are you done now? Naruto's tone of voice shows that he still doesn't even give a damn about what's going on at all. He just walks out of the house making the four women worry about what's going to happen. Naruto heads for the park he used to play at with her. The closer he gets there the more he thinks about her and time they had together before she had to be killed. Killed in front of him like that, and he makes a fist. It was entirely his fault that it happened. He keeps on telling himself that every time he thinks about her. He stops at what looks to be a swing set. He stares at it hard and starts to see a young version of himself pushing the swing higher when a girl his age who has light green hair asked him to. He watches, but once he hears his name being called, the two people in front of him fade away into nothingness. He turns to see who's calling his name like that, but only person he sees is Anko looking at him and out of breath at that. Finally found you, and you've been here all this time, have you? You have been gone for an hour now. Where the hell do you think you get right to just do that like this? Naruto shows shock on his face when he hears that. I've just been here remembering a part of my past, but I had no idea it's been that long. I thought I only been staring for few minutes. Anko just stares at him but slaps him upside the head with her right hand. If you're now wondering about the slap I just gave you, it's because you had us all worried about you, damn fool. Naruto smiles before giving her a tender kiss filled with love and passion for her. He truly just had to do that, but his mind still haunts him of the past to no avail at all. Anko lets her mask finally drop for once and he can see all her pain but also her happiness. He moves his hand to her right cheek and begins to lightly caress it to Anko's enjoyment. Thank you for worrying about me like that. It's been a long time since I had hear someone worried about me. He can see a blush starting to creep up her face, bring a smile to his lips. You don't have to thank me at all. She gives him a smile of her own, but only one word comes to his mind when he sees her smile. The word that does come to mind is beautiful, but he didn't realize that he had said it out loud to her. When she hears him say that to her, she's starting to look away from him, but her smile only gets brighter than before. Even though she tries to hide the fact it's getting brighter but trying to block her lips with her finger, Naruto can see it and a grin forms on his lips. We need to get you home now so the others don't worry. He nods his head to her, but he does grab her hand with his holding it when they walk back to their home together. He moves his fingers into her fingers, locking their hands together. When the pair gets inside the house, he can see the girls staring at the two of them with hardly and question looks on their faces. He looks to see Anko grinning but trying to look away again from the others. What did you two do? Naruto and Anko let go of each other's hand and blush from what they were trying to say to them. He can see they are still staring at him. Slowly he moves over to sit down on the couch. Nothing happened. I just found him by the swing set at the par. He was just staring into nothingness for an hour without even realizing what was going on around him. Tsum moves over to him because she knows he wasn't just seeing nothingness there. She knows what it like is to think of the past. She always does think of her died husband and ask herself all the time, what if this, or what would have happened if he didn't die? She still does blame herself for his death, but at the same time she moved on. She had to move on in order to be happy and not always be sad around her kids. She had to be strong for her kids, and it'd been years now, but she still holds some pain inside and knows just what Noah's going through. He had lost the only person in this village that cared about him and didn't see him as a demon. You were seeing the past, weren't you? She only gets a small nod of the head from him. She sits down beside him, but Hannah moves the others out of the room so her ka can talk to him alone and not have anyone watching. She does remember how her ka was when her two first was killed. She may have been just a young child, but she remembers it all. She is glad that her ka began to move on, but it took long time and painful times for her ka back then. You truly need to learn how to deal with your past before it slowly destroys yourself from the inside out. Naruto just looks at her eyes, but his hands start to shake the more he thinks about his died friend, his first friend he had ever had in this hell of a village. I just can't get over it. It's too hard for me to move on with it and face it. No matter how many times I try, it's just too damn hard. Tsum moves his head to the chest and slowly starts to rub his head in lightly and gently. We are here to help you when you're in need of help. Don't you ever forget that, do you hear me, Naruto-kun? Never forget that. Naruto doesn't even move this time, he just lets himself enjoy the warmth that he's getting from Tsum right now. Now you need to summon your friend, then go get some rest, okay? I can tell all this has tired you out badly. He gives her another nod of his head. Slowly he stays back up on his feet, then summons Mocha, but once he sees the cloud clear, he sees a pissed off woman looking at him. You summoned me late and made me wait for you. He lets a smile come across his tired lips, but he still doesn't know why thinking of the past keeps doing this to him. When Mocha sees him, she can tell he has been thinking of the past, causing her to let a frown makes its way on her lips. I know those looks. You have been thinking of her, haven't you? He nods his head, making her put down his bags down on the ground and walks over to him. She hated to see him like this because it hurt her so much when she keeps seeing him like this about something happened so long ago. You truly can be a fool at times. Do you realize that at all? All she gets from him this time is a long hardened stare with eyes showing his deep sadness to her. I'm sorry, Mocha-chan. She just pulls him into a hug. You fool, you shouldn't say sorry. I know you cared about her and miss her deadly. There's one thing you had forgotten, and that is I miss her too. Mocha feels few tears coming down her face, but she notices that Tsum is gone from the room. Part of her is glad that she isn't here watching the two of them. I'm sorry for not helping and running from my past. Mocha kisses his lips and just stares with her teary eyes. I've told you, don't be sorry. Listen for once, will you? Naruto runs his hand through her long silver hair. We both miss her deadly. Mocha nods her head before letting more tears come down her face. She didn't care that she's crying like this. Naruto slowly lets his tear leave his eyes for the first time since that day. It is the first time he has ever had a tear come down his face since the day he become a demon. That's it, Naruto, you just need let it finally out, let all the years of holding the pain in and let it out. Let it all just go and leave you for good. Listening to what she just said to him, he cries even more and lets it all out. When the two of them get done and sitting on the couch, he hears everyone walking back into the room. He looks to them with a tear-stained face. Do you feel better now? Naruto nods his head to them, but he stares at the sleeping Mocha against his shoulder. Her face looks so peaceful when she's sleeping. I had forgetting that she was also close friends with Mocha-chan. Closes his eyes hard and not wanting to open them. You just wanted to forget that it even happened. It's not your fault, Naru-kun. He opens his eyes but shakes his head, disagreeing with her. If I hadn't become friends with her, she would have had a better life, also be alive right now. It's my fault. They all just shake their heads back to him. She wanted to be your friend, and that why you're not to blame. You just wanted a friend in your life. Naruto looks at Anko, but he still can't believe that it's not his fault. He looks over to the sleeping Mocha and then at the bags that she has came with. Can you help me get her to the bed? Anko walks over and the two of them carry her to the bedroom for her to lay down on something better than a couch. He lays her on the bed and put the covers on her. She truly looks so peaceful for once. The two of them walk out of the room. Sum pushes him back inside once he leaves the room with a look on her face. You need to get some rest now. Don't trying telling me you're fine, because I can see that you're not fine at all. He goes to the bed and lays down beside Mocha, but his eyes look at Sum, but his eyes just close slowly. When he wakes up, he's staring at the two women in the room in a deadly staring contest with each other. What is going on with the two of you now? They look at him and their faces begin to turn into a smile. We were just taking to each other. Naruto doesn't believe that for a second. He knows Mocha too much to believe that. What really happened now? The two of them just sit on each side of him, but he just shakes his head to the both of them. Well, we may have gotten into a fight about few things, nothing too big at that. He just shakes his head again at the two of them because he didn't know he turned into the peaceful person around here. He really could never understand women at all in his life, and he not even close to doing it now. What time is it now? Because I need to eat something. I can't believe I'm this hungry. He begins to stand, but Mocha grabs his arm and bites his neck to being to drink her dinner. She can't help but want more of his blood, because to her it is just the best blood, but also her first. I take it you want food too. She just keeps on drinking his blood, not caring about what he's saying to her. Once she finishes with her drinking, her eyes look at his eyes. Thank you for the blood. He nods his head to her. The three of them go to the living room, but he can see that Kiba is sitting there with a pissed off when he sees Naruto walking in. Why are you still in this house? Naruto just shakes his head, but Mocha on the other hand has her fangs showing now. She doesn't like when someone talks to her Naruto like that, and she's going make this fool pay dearly. Mocha walks over to Kiba with her face showing anger towards him. Who do you think you are talking to, Naru-kun, like that? Kiba right now wanted to run and hide or piss himself because of what he's seeing in front of him. Hana walks but just watches what's going on. I'm sorry, Mocha, but you can't kill him. Mocha just walks back to Naruto, but he pulls her into a hug and slowly rubs her back, causing her to just lean into his embrace. Naruto-kun, we are staring to make dinner, so no going anyway, and Kiba behave or else. Both boys nod their heads back to her. Naruto can tell Kiba is going to be scared of Mocha for a long time to come. He just keeps rubbing Mocha's back softy for a while longer, much to her enjoyment. When dinner is done, they all sit down at the dinner table to eat together. Naruto can see that Kurenai isn't here with them, causing him to just look over at Tsume. How come Kurenai-chan isn't here with us? Tsume is the first to speak up to him. She is home eating dinner with her friend who is also her roommate. Naruto just nods his head, but he begins to eat only to find Mocha hand on his lap, causing him just give her a fast look. The two of them always have dinner together when they're both in the village. He gives another nod, but this time to Hana. He can see something in Mocha's eyes when she becomes to smile. So it's dinner and fun for her tonight. They're all staring hard at her, making her lips turn into a sly grin. Neither of them likes to touch other women, so no fun. Mocha pouts but goes back to eating now that her joking is ruined. 3 hours after dinner, Naruto is back in his room getting ready for bed. Naruto takes his shirt off before lying on the bed, but he sees Anko taking off her clothes, leaving her in just panties and bra, both being white. When he sees Mocha staring at Anko, she takes her kimono off, leaving her in a black bra and thong, but both move to each side of him. I can get used to this kind of sleeping. Both women just smirk to him before moving up closer to him. I bet you could get used to this and fast, couldn't you? He nods his head, agreeing to her and happy with a smirk on his face. Each of his hands goes to their asses, causing them to start to stare at him, whom he just closes his eyes and slowly goes to sleep. When he gets up, he slaps both girls' asses, playful, slowly getting off the bed afterwards. He now sees they're slowing getting awake from the slap on there. The thing that makes him start to worry is the pissed off look on their faces at him. Did I do something wrong? Anko throws a pillow at him, but he moves to the side. He unseals his things from a sealed scroll, and one being a large bag. When are you going to get out of bed and train me, sensei? He pulls out a pair of clothes from the bag and does look back at Anko, only to find an even more pissed off look on her face. You truly can be a pain in the, do you know that? He just gives an agreeing nod, but both women blush once they watch him charge his clothes in front of them, causing Anko to shut up full time. When he gets done changing, the look at his face shows he's smirking about what he just did. He looks closer at them to see that they seem to enjoy it. I guess you enjoyed that just now. They both look away, causing him to laugh out loud as he walks out of the room. Once the two girls get changed and walk out to meet up with him, they find him sitting down talking to Hana, who's on his lips in a nightgown. It is a nightgown that's open, showing her bra and panties to him. His hands are on her long bare legs with her head against his neck, taking in the warmth from him. Hana-chan, I didn't know you wear outfits like that. Hana closes her nightgown up fast to Naruto, fun being ruined by Anko. Did you really have to do that just now? I was having fun. Both women nod their heads, making him shake his at them. Hana-chan, we need to go train now and be back later. He give her a kiss and walks out the house, followed by both Anko and Mocha. Lead the way to where we are going to be training at, Anko-sensei. She rolls her eyes but does take the lead to bring them to the forest of death. She sits down on a log. She waves them over to do the same. Once all of the three of them are sitting down, she starts to stare closely at him. Are you really ready to be trained into the ground you walk on by me? His face becomes a big smile, making Mocha slap him upside the head hard. I swear you truly are crazy in the head, do you realize that? His smile becomes a grin, but Anko stands up with her finger to her lips. First we are going to work on your speed and dodging by me throwing kunais at you. He jumps to his feet with his eyes staring at her brown eyes. Anko starts off with one at a time, which she can see that he can handle it well. She starts throwing two at a time with more speed behind them, making Naruto have to move faster this time. Only one hits him after a good hour of this kind of training she's putting him through in order to train him good. Looks like I have to make it harder for you. She throws 3 now and goes as fast as she can at him. Only thing she can see that changed is that his face is becoming a big smile, causing her to get little bit mad. This really is fun training. I hope we have this much fun every time. He keeps dodging them, but a few get him here and there, but none hit him in the main areas of his body. The two of you are out of your minds. Mocha is still sitting and watching this crazy game of tag. You're just mad that you can't make him run like this. Mocha sends her an evil glare, causing Anko to let out a long laugh. Once Anko stops for a break, she sits down beside Mocha. Naruto walks over to them in a shirt that is turned into rags by Anko's training. I did like this shirt, you know. Anko grins, making Mocha smile at him. She gets up on her feet and moves over to him to remove what's life of his shirt. The vampire licks her lips in a teasing manner at him. That's better. Mocha bits down on his neck but doesn't drink or cause blood to come out of his neck. You do like to bite me a lot, and how about we get lunch now? Both of them agree with him and start heading after Anko. When she stops, it's in front of the Dango stand. I should have known you going to come here. She smiles and tells the cook their order. What is this food we're about to eat? Anko's face shows deep shock and grabs Mocha hard. Tell me now how you don't know what dangos are. They're the best food in the whole wide world. Mocha stares at her like she has lost her mind, and badly at that. I think she has lost her mind just now. Naruto looks at a pouting now Anko, making him smile to her. He just thinks her pouting is really cute to watch. When their food gets to them, she forces a dango in Mocha mouth, making the vampire pissed, but once she tastes it, she enjoys it. They're good, but Naruto-kun blood is better. Anko smiles with victory on her face, but Naruto just eats his food and hopes no more craziness happens today. Throughout the lunch, both of them kept on fighting with each other. He doesn't understand why the two of them have to fight with each other so badly like this for no reason. Once Naruto pays for them, they head to the house, but Naruto just realized something. Where is the baby fox? Anko just grins and looks at him. She's safe with Hana-chan, don't worry. Naruto takes a breath again after hearing that. He didn't know what he would do if he had lost her. You found another animal to take care of now. Mocha just stares at him, making him only smile, but he takes both of their hands with his, pulling them closer to him, causing both women to blush a light blush. Once inside the clan house, he can see Hana now in her work clothes talking to her mother, but Sum is only in her nightgown closed at that. When the two of them see Naruto, they slowly walk over to him. Naruto kisses Sum, then Hana, but he looks around with his eyes till Hana hands him the baby fox. Thanks for watching over her. He lightly pats the fox's head, earning him a happy yelp from her. You care about her a lot, don't you, Naru-kun? He nods before putting her down on the table lightly. I'm off to work, and Anko, your friend with the scars on his face, asked you to help him now to break someone that he has in a jail cell. Anko smiles like a mad woman before walking out of the house, followed by Hana. That was creepy. Sum laughs at Mocha before saying that how she is when comes to her job at breaking people to find out things. You really meet some strange people, Naru-kun. Sum stares at her, but she loses force on Mocha when she feels a hand going down her back. Naru-kun, I am sorry for how my son has acted at you like that. He just waves his hand, showing it's fine. She looks at her, slowly moving her hands on his arms. It's not fine for him acting like that to you. He just shrugs his shoulders, then heads to the training grounds with two girls watching his back as he leaves the room. A few weeks later, both Anko and Naruto are called into the Hokage office. I'm sending you two to help Team 8 with a mission that has gone to hell. They need your help, and right this second. Hokage filled them in and told them where to go, and with that they left in haste in order to save their asses. When two of them gets to the gate, they see Hana with Sum, making them just stare closely, but Naruto sees Mocha walking up to them. We have to go save Kurenai and her team, but don't worry, we don't let them die. Hana and Sum smile before telling them to bring Kiba home safely. Anko and Naruto with Mocha are now leaving the village to head to their mission area. How close are we to Kurenai now? His voice showed that he's worried about Team 8 now, but his worry for Kurenai is greater than rest of Team 8. He does know that Kiba hated him right now, but he isn't going let him die because of that, and there's no way he's going to let Kurenai get hurt. He couldn't blame Kiba for the fact that he's truly hated him because he is dating both his Ka and sister all at once. That is something that would cause anyone to be pissed off at the one dating them, but he just hoped that in time he will stop hating him. That is the one thing about him, even if he had became a demon, he's still not going let anyone hurt the ones he cares about. He will keep them safe no matter what the cost or no matter what he has to do in order to keep them safe. His heart is still one that has the emotions of a human being and not same kind of feelings that a demon has. There are only a few demons in this world that don't hate and don't love to kill, but so very few of them in this world. We should get there any minute now, and don't worry, I know she'll be safe and sound. So you don't need to worry about her like you are right now, even though she may be touched, you care so much about her. Just when she finished done saying that, they see the village up ahead of them, causing Naruto to smile because he's there now to help her. The village is known as the main village that handles the spices for Konoha and someplace that is kept safe no matter what. That is why so many people try to attack this place either for the money or to hurt Konoha when comes to their economy. Spices are the one group that is traded the most inside and outside of Konoha and the Land of Fire, but that also can cause it to be a main target for people to hit. If they lose something like this, it can send a major blow to their income for their economy. Village of the Fallen Stars, given that name by the fact this village always has stars falling above it the most times out of any village around here. When they get inside, they quickly find Kurenai, who is looking down at Shino. He seems to be wounded in the leg, but Naruto just moved over to her and put his hand softly on her shoulder. Please tell me what happened here, Kurenai-chan. Kurenai turned her eyes to him, but he can see her tired and teary eyes looking at him. He could only pull her into a warm brace, which only made her just rub against his chest with her face. He hated to see anyone that he cared about look sad like this, but he's going to do his best to erase her sadness because that is something he knows he has to do. He has to always keep her happy with a smile on her beautiful lips. The ones that attacked and got away, they aren't humans, they moved with the ground like it was part of them. I haven't seen anything like that, and there's no way it can be a jutsu that lets them do it. Naruto just rubbed her head slowly, trying his best to calm her down, but he does look over to Mocha with eyes that showed concerned. He looked back over to Kurenai, but he just gave her another few minutes of rubbing her back before speaking again. Now Kurenai-kun, please, no more worrying, we are here to help you, so please get some rest, okay? We'll handle it from now, so don't worry your pretty head. She looked up at him again with eyes that show him she's thankful and nodded her head. He slowly watched her go off to the room she is sharing with Hinata in order to get sleep, but he closed his eyes to think. Could these ones truly be demons? By how she talked about their fight with them, it does sound like earth demons, but here. Why would they attack a human village like this? Naruto was so unsure to why demons like these were being showing up in this kind of place. Anko-chan and Mocha-chan, you two wait here and keep them safe. I'm going to see if these people really are demons or just strange powered humans. He starts heading out and begin to look around where the battle took place. When he does have a look around to see these villagers scared for their lives about the attacks, but he noticed right away two women who don't seem to be scared but eating cake. He slowly starts walking over to them, but when he gets closer them he started to look them over. He can see that one of them has purple spiky head, but the top of her head is flat. One side is kept short but other one is bit longer, but he can see that her eyes are a shade of light blue which he could say are breathtaking. Now his eyes move on to her lips that have purple lipstick on which seem to match her perfectly. She also has a headband around her forehead which has horns on each side of it. Her purple hair covers the middle of the headband, but he does notice a choker around her neck. The color of it is purple and color of the headband is brown, which these two things cause him to try to figure out just why she likes to wear something with horns. Naruto tried his best not to blush when he finally looked to see what she's wearing. She's dressed in a short sleeveless purple colored tunic that's open both in the back and front, showing great amount of cleavage but also her full bare back. The tunic is only being kept together by a red obi belt tied on the front around her waist. But when he looks at her arms he can see that her forearms, in which she has on, is dark brown leather bracers. Her right elbow and going up to her shoulder are fully bare, showing off more of her skin to the world. While her left side wears a fishnet sleeve but also a simple shoulder plate as well. Her legs are bare from top to her socks and Japanese-style tabi shoes, but he can on up the left side of her leg little bit of her black thong, making him blush but shake his head. He looks over to the other woman next to him. This one didn't make him blush, but the word cute did come to his mind. She's dressed in a Miko outfit with long black hair and violet-colored eyes. He can see a katana on her back, making him just keep looking around to see everyone else still scared. "You do like staring at us that much?" the purple hair woman asked, but Naruto just sits down at their table. She just moves her hand onto the other woman's arm in a way of keeping her safe, but the Miko just stared at the other woman like she can handle things herself. "I'm just waiting for them to attack again so I can deal with them. Can't have them just walking away from here alive now, can I?" She just laughed, only for the Miko to move her hand to stop her from laughing at him because she felt it was rude of her friend to do. "I can't help it because he's how young and he thinks he can go and save this village. He really has guts, I'll give him that, but guts alone can't win a fight like this." He just pointed to his headband. By doing that it caused her to shut up and fast because even she knows who Konoha is. "Your other friends from Konoha fail, what makes you any better?" one of the villages yelled to him, but he doesn't even bat an eye at this. He can see that both women are now staring at him, but he just gave a smile to them and begins to look back at the yelling villager. That's because is one of the reasons that does cause him to get him mad so many times, because no one puts faith in the ones that come to help them. Humans always seem to let fear take their bodies and minds over when it comes to something they fear or don't know, like this time. They're big different with me and them. They are humans and well, I'm not. I'm not going to lose to these bastards, and that's something I know for a fact. He now can hear people yelling and coming closer to his area. He starts to get up and head over to the place, but once he begins to walk he can see what's going on. He can see about 10 of them, and they weren't human, at least not the 3 with spiked chains in their hands. Their faces are all stone-like and makes him just wish he could just tell them to leave because he hates trying to fight stone demons. He starts to pick up his pace and heads over there before anyone gets killed because he may dislike people in his village, but he doesn't hate humans. When he gets to the bandits he slowly looks around to see only 3 look demons-like while others look human. He signs in relieved when he see that only 3 stone demons to fight, because if they all were ones then this fight would be more of a hell. His eyes just look calm, but his hands make a fist before speaking right at the leader. "You are the assholes attacking people, can't even fight back. You truly are worthless bandit. No, you're just worthless lowdown scum." The biggest one made a fist before walking closer over to Naruto, but Naruto can see in his eyes that this fool is getting pissed at him. To lose yourself to anger before a fight is the worst thing you can do, but to make it even worse is the fight that anger only will cloud your mind and make you make mistakes. Mistakes that will help Naruto win this fight against them. "You're calling us worthless. A human, don't make me laugh, you are just bugs waiting be stepped on. The leader simple attacked Naruto only to miss and hit air, but he does feel a sharp pain in his back after his failed attack. Naruto had successfully kicked him in the spine, doing so caused pain to go down the man's body but doesn't seem to stop his fighting against the red-hair shinobi. You truly are a pain. Do you know that you're a damn bug? Naruto doesn't see the two spiked chains coming and wrap around his arms, pulling his arms painfully apart. He kisses his teeth in pain and watches leader walk back to his men, but he couldn't stop him thanks to his arms being chained like this. You can't even move now. I will enjoy killing everyone in front of you. Don't think you'll die first, because I won't let you be allowed death till everyone is killed in front of your very own eyes. Hearing that only caused Naruto's eyes grow more pissed with slits now in his eyes, but he also can now see the two women from before running over to them. Don't try to help me. I need to show these fools that they are worthless. I'm not a human, but I am a demon. I have something you will never have. That's when he started to move his right arm to his left side of his body, forcing the spikes on the chains go deeper into him to only cause him more pain, but this pain he grinned and bared it all. He simply will take all the pain because he only images just what these demons would to do the villagers and his teammates. The thought of that gave him the will to take the pain in order to keep the ones he cares about safe, but above all to keep the innocents from getting hurt by bastards like the ones in front of him. You're a fool. If you keep doing that, you'll rip your own arm off at this rate. How can you be this foolish to try something like that? Naruto doesn't listen and doesn't stop doing what he's doing, making purple hair woman just stare at him, shocked by what he's trying to do. She couldn't believe someone would put himself into this much pain for what? A village that gave up on believing he could help or save them. This is a village which he doesn't even know, and people inside of it that doesn't even know his name. His right arm now bleeding badly and his skin being painfully ripped off as spikes dip deeper into his arms, but he finally got his hand to his left side. I told you I got something you don't. I wasn't born demon. I was a human before I become a demon, and I still have my heart and will. He took a kunai out fast and channeled Fuden into it. He quickly cuts the chains of his left arm, and with that he grabbed the right chain with his bare hands and pulls with all of his might to force the stone demon to him, causing his hands be bleeding with holes now in it, but he just ignores the pain. When Stone Demon finally does get sent into the fly and heading right for Naruto, he takes the Fuden-channeled kunai and stab the demon right in the heart. The Stone Demon body just fall limp to the ground, but Naruto on the other end is in so much pain that it racing through his body. This is a pain that he just can't seem to grin and take it like he normal would, thanks to the holes in his hands with blood flowing out at a large rate. Now this makes 1 down and 9 to go. He starts summoning, and once the smoke clears he sees 6 armored knights, with one of that doesn't seem to have a helm on her head like the rest of them. Once he got done summoning, he just want yell out in pain thanks to having to use his hands. The hands that have holes in them from the spikes that don't seem to want to heal fast like he normal does. The one without a helm begins to face him, but he can see her long blonde hair with light purple eyes, but her face still to not show much emotions. You are the one that Tsukuyomi-sama told us about. You don't seem like someone she would let sign our summoning or even be allowed to summon us. Naruto nodded to the group of holy knights in front of him before trying to keep standing up. I need you to keep these villagers safe from them, and don't try helping me first, they need help more. She had become speechless after hearing that, because he's willing to not let anyone help him just so they can help these villagers. She also could see the state of his arms and hands, quickly looking away from them because she didn't know how he can handle all this pain. Pain they could help him by healing, but he isn't letting them help him till the villagers are all safe and sound. It just something that made her truly and deeply shocked, but also moved by. My name is Sukiya, and we will do as you asked. It is our duty to listen to the one that summons us, and I will always carry out my duty no matter what. The groups of knights start doing what they were told to do and start guarding the villagers from the bandits. Naruto just makes shadow clones then attacks them head-on without forcing on his own life. "We are going to help you now and don't try to stop us." The Miko yelled to him but he only stopped to stare at her for a second then going back at the task at hand. She on the other hand smiled because he didn't stop them this time from helping him. Why did they feel like they needed to go and help me? Why do people always think they should help me, damn it? I guess I'll take out the leader then. Naruto pulled out a kunai right as he jumps in front of the leader whom is now wielding a katana in his right hand. Naruto again channels Fuden into his kunai and crashes with the katana but his hands still are in so much pain making him try his best to end this fast. Naruto knows he can't keep this up without giving some time to rest in order to heal his wounds. They blade crashed again and again but they just keep going at each other not caring about what's going on around them. Naruto only stared at the man's eyes with his eyes showing anger towards this bastard. With the last crash of metal Naruto dropped the kunai thanks to his wounded hands but he summoned wind around him to block the next attack. "So you're a wind demon are you now? You are going to die even if your race is a rare one to see. I'm going make you feel pain for letting them help only for them to die by my hands." He moves right behind the Miko but Naruto uses chakra to get there before his blade can hit her. He takes the strike of the katana cutting his back but pushes the Miko forward ahead of them. "I won't let you hurt anyone. Do you hear me? Do you hear me you asshole?" His eyes glow with eyes before doing seals then proof comes down only to show a blade. A katana still in its sheath but he slowly looked at the man in front of him. "I won't let anyone die. I won't let any innocent blood be dropped not by you or anyone." Two women could only stare at him because they shocked someone so young could still fight with all the wounds he has on him. "How the hell are you still standing? No demon can withstand something like that, your arms and hands bleeding badly for this whole fight. Your back is bleeding out with major wound but you still stand." Naruto body starts to glow white with force of his spirit which shocked the Miko because he's now channeling that spirit power without his blade. He grabs the katana causing the handle of the blade to be covered in his own blood but he couldn't let himself stop fighting now. He looked around at the village and the people who live inside of it. He quickly looked back at the person that is causing so much pain and fear to these innocent villagers. "I won't let you hurt anyone anymore. This is last day you will ever try to hurt someone for no reason just for your own greed and pleasure." Naruto quickly gets right in front of the stone demon and their blades clash together but Naruto moved his blade upwards causing the demon blade to be pushed back and for his blade to cut the man in the chest. He sidesteps around the demon but his eyes are now closed. "This is the day you face your crimes and sins in hell." Naruto then quickly moves his blade which caused a clean cut but once the attack had ended the man head fall off hitting the ground and rolling away. Naruto dropped his blade and fall to his knees in pain with his face showing that he's trying his best not to yell out in pain. He slowly looked around to see that the village is now safe but the pain caused him to finally yell out. The yell of pain that would cause many to kill themselves just from the feeling alone but he slowly tried to stay only for the Miko to move her hands to stop him. "Don't try to move you need a healer." The Miko truly had no idea just how in the world he is still alive from all these wounds are still holding out by trying to stand up only for the Miko to move her hand softly on his chest to keep him from moving. "Don't move you. You can't move right now because you need a healer so please don't try moving again." The holy knights move over to them and begin to heal his wound but he looked at the leader of them Sukiya. "Villagers are all safe. Now let me heal you." He nodded his head before he can feel himself falling forward only to be stopped by the Miko with his head now in the middle of her nice bosom causing the other woman to glare at him. Once the knights had fully healed them, they gave him one last look before poof into smoke, leaving everyone. They had done their duty, so they had no reason to stay behind, but Sukiya smiled at him before she left. Naruto finally steps up once the knights leave in clouds of smoke, but his eyes just look around to see the villagers cheering at them happily. A smile begins to start forming on his lips, but he can feel a hand on his back. Just who are you? You took all that beating and still kept on fighting. I never seen anyone do that for people he doesn't even know. His blue eyes meet her light blue's eyes, only to cause her to blush and look at her friend. My name is Tommo and this woman beside me is Shizuka. It's nice to meet you. Naruto couldn't help but smile at this because he really was right to think of her as being cute. He slowly starts to see his teammates coming out of the house carrying Shino, who seems to be getting worse. My name is Naruto and it's nice to meet you too. He begins walking over to his team only to be hit on the head by Mocha once he gets to them. He gave her a pout, but she just giggled before glaring back at him. You did all fighting without me, how rude, but we need get your friend here to a doctor and fast. He moved his finger to his lips to try and think of a place he knows that's close by that has a doctor in it. I know a place, but we need get out of the village so I can get our ride there. Naruto turned to the two women that helped him with a smile. You can come if you want. You two seem be somewhat hurt from that fight. We would like that because we don't know much of this area to be truly about. You also did take an attack for me, hurting you badly. So it would be rude of us to say no to you now. Shizuka glared at her but nodded her head to him. Let's get going then. Need go outside the village to summon our ride. They follow him, but both of the new women try to figure out what he meant by that. They didn't know much about how he shinobis did things and never seen someone do a summoning in their life before, which this is going to shock them badly. When they get out of the village, he bits his thumb and does the seal, but his hands still hurt like hell. The knights may have healed him, but the pain of all the wounds still is there to feel. When he slammed his hand to the ground and the smoke cleared to show Cerberus who's staring at them. Both women are shocked as hell, but he just lets out a laugh while watching everyone get on the three-headed dog's back. He slowly moved over to them and helped the Miko up first, then the beautiful shinobi, who he could see her thanks to how her clothes moved. When everyone gets on, he walked to the middle head and sat down with his hands, slowly giving the dog a good petting. We need you to take us to Land of Waves, but please make it fast. We have a wounded teammate needs a doctor. Cerberus doesn't waste any time and goes into fast-paced running in order to get to the place the fastest he could. Naruto slowly closed his eyes to let the world around him fade out and slowly went into his mind to think on what just happened today. When they finally get to Land of Wave, it started to get dark out, but he gets off it once he helps both women down. Once everyone had moved off the giant dog, that when he gave a wave goodbye to his friend and headed onto the bridge. What the hell, you got status and this bridge named after you? Kiba's voice could be heard by everyone when he yelled on the top of his lungs. Everyone looked at it, then Kurenai moved over to the sign that next to the status. The savior that saved us from the monster Gato, who took anyway everything we had from money to food. He took away our honors and dreams, but also our will to live on, till Naruto Namikaze saved us and gave us back our will and strength to go on living. Everyone stared at him, but he just walked on, but he did smile at how they think of him. They follow him to a house, but he slowly knocked on the door for a young woman with black hair and blue eyes came out. Naruto-kun, you're here. She looked over at Shino, then back to him before she moved her hand for them to come in. She's not here right now, but I can help your friend there. Just put him down on the other bed over there. She pointed next to what seemed to be a darker-skinned man with a kumo headband on his head. Why in hell is an enemy shinobi here? Kiba yelled, only for Naruto to look deadly at him before he moves Kiba out of the place. Kiba didn't know why the hell he had been pushed out of the house, but he could only feel a shiver of fear when looked at Naruto's eyes. This is a place of healing and there is no ally or enemy when comes to places like this. Don't you forget that, Kiba. I don't care if there are kumo shinobi here because the doctor that owns this place takes care of everyone, not just Konoha. Both of them fail to notice a kumo shinobi walk up to them. That was really cool of you, do you know that? He looked over at the woman who is now next to him, but he lets Kiba go back inside. He eyes the newcomer, which turned out to be very beautiful in his eyes. She has short blonde hair and breathtaking blue eyes, but he can tell now she has one huge bosom on her. His eyes move back to her eyes, but he just noticed the kumo headband on her head, but it didn't bother him at all. I do wonder just why kumo shinobis are this close to Konoha and so far from home. That's when he can see another woman walk behind the blonde hair woman. This one had light gray hair with green eyes. She seems to be wearing a long-sleeve dress shirt with a skirt that matches the top of her outfit, but he slowly looked at over as well. She had a good-sized bosom, but he just looked back inside the house now to see them leaving with Shino on the bed being looked over by the doctor. Where do we go now while we wait for him to get better? Naruto just looked at Kurenai, but he closed his eyes to think. He didn't know if it'd be okay to bother them again, but he had no choice right now to try finding new place to go to. I know someone that lives here and maybe she'll let us stay there like she did last time for me. They nod their head, but he looked back at the two kumo. It is nice meeting you too, but can I ask what your names are? My name is Maboui and it's nice to meet you also. This woman beside me is Simui, but what is your name? He slowly his head, but his eyes just looks at the two of them, mostly the blonde hair woman who seems to be eyeing him up. Naruto Namikaze is my name and it is a pleasure to meet the two of you. He starts walk off to Tsunami houses along with his teammates and Shizuka alongside Tommo. When he gets to the house he can't believe it's a lot bigger, but he knocks on the door. When she came to the door she couldn't believe her eyes, but she grabbed him, giving him a bear hug, only for three of the women to glare at her deadly. You came back to visit us, did you, or are you on a mission? Come inside, I'll get Dad. She walks away, but they enter and go inside the living room. Inari and Tazuna enter the room with Tsunami, but the little boy runs to Naruto, giving him a hug only for everyone to laugh. The family sits down with them, but her eyes don't leave Naruto because she's happy he had came back, even if it only for a short time. They see two kumo shinobis from before and two new ones walk in, only to make they stare at each other confused. Tsunami laughs out only for everyone to stare at her, which caused her to shut up quickly. I forget to tell you that the kumo shinobis that we found are staying with us. You can stay as well because thanks to you we got a lot more rooms now. Kumo members stare at him, but they finally realized he is the savior of this place, which shocked them badly. He's the one that saved this place. Tsunami nodded her head before she waved them to sit down with them. Can you tell us how he did it? Naruto gets up but heads out for air, only for Tsunami to giggle. Seems he's shy for us to talk about it, but I'll tell you the story how he did. I first met him when Gato's thugs tried to take me somewhere to do who knows what to me. Naruto-kun killed them before they could take me out of my house. She looked at where he used to be because she is truly thankful to him with all her heart. When I had told him what Gato has been doing, it pissed him off so badly. He said he hates Tyrant and will do everything he can to destroy them. He also said he fights to keep the innocent and the weak safe. Everyone stares at her, but she just smirked to them, but she could that it had shocked them that a shinobi of all people had talked like that. So he stay here with us, but then he went to fight Gato. He fought so many of the shinobis and swordsmen that Gato had hired. I didn't think anyone could fight so many at one time and live, but he did, and the bright had became so bloody with so much died bodies. It was like an army had just been killed by a single man. She moved her finger to her lips, watching the shocked faces on everyone in the room. Even Mocha is now baldy shocked by what she had just heard from the older woman. This is why I helped him build that sanctuary for the innocent and the ones that just want get away from the wars. Some people he helped were outcasts for being what they are, but he created that place and moved them there to be happy. They look over to the old man, who takes a sip of his drink. In his mind, he can help the ones they can't help themselves. He's willing to go so far for anyone that is in need of help. Even to give up his own life just to save someone he doesn't even know. That is the kind of man Naruto is. They just were too speechless to even to talk or ask them any kind of questions at all. Mocha got up and went to Naruto to find him staring at the sky while sitting down in cross-leg style. You never told me what you did here, Naru-kun. Where will you stop always trying to help everyone like this? He looked back with eyes that showed his kind-hearted self, only for her to look away from that look because she hated it. She hated how he always is so kind-hearted even when it gets him so badly hurt. You know I can't stop helping people because it's what I need to do. If you have the power for good in this life, then it's your responsibility to use that power to help people who don't have any power at all. To help the weak or innocent, don't just let them but to help them with all your strength and power. He smiled to her before standing up once more, but she moved to him, claiming his lips with hers. I still don't like it, but I know I can't stop you from doing this. He nodded and both of them headed back inside. When he gets in, he can tell everyone is now staring at him, only to cause his head to shake. Can I ask why Kumo is near Konoha like this? I did tell you that. I did wonder why. Maboui looked at him but then away in embarrassment and shame. She did finally look away but still had some blush on her beautiful face. We are here to talk about allies with Konoha, but we somehow got lost and ended up here. Naruto looked at her and found no lie in her eyes or voice, so he knows that he can trust what she had just said to him. You can come with us back to the village once both of our members are healed. A smile came to the gray-hair woman's lips with her eyes looking at him. She could tell right away he's kind-hearted, but after hearing the story she can't help but feel pulled to his aura he has around him. I bet everyone is tired right now, so why don't I show you to your rooms? They nod their heads and follow her. Once she gives room to everyone but Kurenai, Anko, Mocha and Naruto, she looked at them when they start going in a room all together. How many girlfriends do you have, Naru-kun? She smirked to him, but he just hold up 6 fingers to her shock. Damn, you move fast, doesn't you, Naru-kun? She giggles before heading her own room. The 4 of them sleep lying down together, but he couldn't help but smile when he can feel their warmth so close to him like this. He gave each one a long kiss before letting sleep finally take him. Somewhere else in a hidden area, one of the members that attacked the village had survived it. Master, we failed you. A wind demon came, and no matter how many times we cut him, he kept on fighting like he was some kind of god. You have failed me then. This came from a demonic voice that show no kindness, only rage and anger comes from the shadows. Next thing the man had was a huge blade cutting him in 2 before the blade went back into the shadows. Get me her now. I will find out who you are and then destroy you. I'll rip your soul from your body and show it pain that you couldn't believe existed in this world. The person hidden in shadow yelled out in a roar of anger. Let me tell you where our guests came from. Sukiya, A.R. Tonelice Koga Nell of A.R. Seal. Shizuka, Queen's Blade. Tommo, Queen's Blade. Man hidden in shadow. Can't tell you. He truly had loved each one of them and wanted them to have a happy life that they could be proud of. He wanted to give them something that they could hold in their hands. It had to be something that made them happy, to make their lives full of happiness and never sadness. He looked down over at Mocha before he smirked because the vampire was someone that was very dear to him. He never wanted to lose her no matter what because he truly loved her with all of his heart. She had always been there with him, through all the hard times. He didn't know what would have happened to him if she wasn't there with him. He figured he would have gone insane by this point of his life. He slowly moved to his feet, making sure he hadn't caused any one of them to wake up before heading out of the room without making a sound. He needed some air because all of the weight on his shoulders just kept on coming back. He had also wanted them to sleep and not wake up because of him. He simply didn't want to wake them up just because he couldn't get to sleep. Once he was outside, the room just closed his eyes before he started to walk again. He headed to the roof of the house and slowly sat down to look up at the stars. It had been a very long time since he just looked up at the stars like that. He looked down at his hands and he could remember all of the things he had done in his life so far. He truly was proud that he had built the sanctuary for the ones that needed it. It was a place that no one had known how to get to. It had kept moving around all the time. It was one of the few truly good things he had done in his life. He did know sooner or later he had to fully stay inside sanctuary to keep it safe from everyone that may want to harm it. These demons that attacked that village, he didn't even know why they would be acting like that. Demons normally were hidden because of how weak their numbers were. He slowly could hear someone behind him. He then turned his head to see that it was Maboui, who was walking over to him and sat down beside him only to give him a smile. He didn't know why she was here or why she was willing to sit beside him like that. He was surprised to see someone else up in the middle of the night like that. Part of him wanted to get to know this woman better since he first met her because 3 was something to her. Something he didn't understand, and at the same time he wanted to understand her more. It's a nice night out tonight, isn't it? These are the days I enjoy the most, when it's peaceful and you can just stare at the stars without any care of the world around you. She asked him, a friendly tone of voice only for him to nod his head back at her. His eyes slowly looked her up and down and her outfit really caught his eyes big time. That was because she was in her sleep wears, which had greatly caused his eyes to stare over at her body. He couldn't believe that she would walk outside wearing that, and he also found himself very lucky that she did. She had a long nightgown on that had gone down to her knees, which it was also the color blue, yet it had given hint at her chest. He looked back at her eyes once he realized she had seen him staring at her, but he just smiled to her. He didn't mean to stare, it was just strange to see someone wearing something like that outside at night because of the cold winds. Part of him thought maybe he should ask if he can help her warm up. That was something he did know he would enjoy doing. The other part of him had known better to ask that to someone he didn't know, even if she did look like a goddess. "You sure you're not cold out here with that on?" he asked her, only she gave him a gently smile back to him. He watched as she closed her beautiful eyes, which he just wished she had left them open for him to stare at. She let the cold air hit against her body. At the same time she started moving back to lie down on the roof, only for him to stare at her even more than he was before. Her chest just seemed to show even more by the pose that she was lying down in, also it made not staring at her chest even harder. He was doing his best not to stare over at her large chest that just seemed to be bigger in the outfit she was wearing. "I love the cold air against my skin. It's just a feeling that my body still to love." She looked back at him with a smirk on her face. "It also seems that you like to stare at my body, so tell me, are you a pervert like everyone else I have met?" "No, I'm not a pervert like the ones you have met before. You don't need to worry about that at all," he quickly told her. "I just think that you are a very beautiful woman. Nothing wrong with thinking that, right?" he asked her. She just nodded her head with a blush on her face. He moved to lie down next to her, yet his eyes go back to looking at the stars above their heads. He moved his hand out, yet no matter how close you get, you will always be so far away from them. They seem so far away but at the same kind so pretty to look at, don't you agree with that Naru-kun? She teased him. That had caused him to move his eyes over at her. He smirked because how close they were together she couldn't help but feel some heat go to her face. She wasn't used to someone younger than her acting that way around her. She was having hard to keep her blush from showing to him. Yes, they are pretty, but it's good that we can't get to them, which is what makes them so great about them. They will always be there and always out of your reach no matter how high we go up and no matter how hard we try. She smiled and slowly moved her hands to her chest while watching them. If someone seen this, they wouldn't believe you two are from different villages at all. That wouldn't be a good thing at all. You are part of Kumo, don't forget that. They heard a voice behind them. They looked back over in order to see Simui walking over to them before sitting down on Maboui's other side. She was just in a long black t-shirt that goes to her knees. He did start to wonder if she had anything under the shirt. Nothing wrong with being friendly to people from other villages, if there is then ones that believe that are fools. He simply told them, first step to peace is to talk. Without talking you can't have true peace. He added. Both women looked at him, yet they can see that his eyes were closed. They do stare more at his face, mainly the whiskers. They started to wonder just how he got these marks on his face and why he was so carefree like he was acting towards them. People may think you aren't loyal to your home, which isn't cool at all. A shinobi without any loyal is a very lost-minded person. She countered back with her words. He just gave her a long laugh that had only confused the two of them. He slowly moved back to his feet and walked to the edge of the roof only to find that he was laughing even harder. He couldn't help but to laugh when someone tells him about loyal because he simply wasn't loyal to his village. Why would he be loyal to a village that treated him like a plague and made his life a nightmare? Loyal. I don't have loyal to my village but the ones that live in there because of the hell they put me through. I'm loyal to few and they are the only reason I even stay in the village. Without them I would be long gone. He told them. He looked back at them with a face that had showed no lies or any hint of joking around with them. That was when Maboui put together the picture and realized just who he was and what was inside of him. She had known the hard life that Hokage's brother had to live before everyone accepted him. So my gut was right, you are the Kyuubi Jinchuriki because I can tell by your whiskers on your face, two of our ex-shinobis. They got swallowed by Kyuubi and had eaten its inside to live, but once they get out they had the same whiskers as you do. He looked and laughed again only to cause them be even more confused by his laugh. That is true. Inside me is the Kyuubi, but we like each other. She also told me that she didn't mean to kill my family and was controlled. She was summoned out of mother body and forced to kill the person she seen as a daughter. He sat down once more. His eyes on the other hand were only looking at them. He could see that they were just staring deep into his blue eyes. He didn't care if the whole world had known of his past because it was his past, something he can't change. All he could do was move forward and make his future something he could be proud of. You know more about me but I know nothing of you too. Why don't you tell me something about you? I mean I'm not going hurt you or anything so you don't have to worry. He asked them. Simui started to look over at Maboui, yet she nodded her head to show that it was okay to talk to him. That caused Naruto to just stared harder back at the blonde-haired woman. Haven't I showed you that I'm not a threat to you? I'll go first if that is okay with the two of you. Maboui asked. Naruto gave a happy nod to her quickly. Simui on the other hand just gave an unsure nod of her head at her. She shook her own because Simui was always someone that kept quiet like this. She had much trust issues for good reasons, still she wished she could help her get over them. I don't have any family members anymore, they have all died in the wars or doing their duty as a shinobi of Kumo. I did have a sister but don't know what happened to her, but beside that I do enjoy my job working with so many great people that I came to see as my own family. Naruto gave her a smile. When listening to her story he couldn't help to smile at her. She could feel heat coming back to her cheeks again. She didn't know why that had caused all of that to happen to her and why she enjoyed being near him. How do we know you won't use this kind of informant to blackmail us or something? Simui asked him. Simui gave him a long hard look that made him just his head over at her. He slowly closed his eyes before walking up to her only for her take a step back. She didn't know what he had planned but she wasn't going to fall for his trap. He moved his hand to her cheek only for her to freeze at the touch of an enemy shinobi touching her. He slowly moved his hand down to her shoulder to feel her skin against his fingertips. You don't need to worry about that, okay? I just want a friendly talk if that's okay with you, Simui-chan. I don't plan on hurting you or anyone from your village, so you don't have to worry so much about talking to me. He gentle yet softly told her. I guess that's okay. She finally gave in. She looked at him while he sat down beside Maboui, even so she still wasn't sure if it was okay to talk like that or not. She just hoped nothing bad would come out of talking with someone from Konoha. I only have a brother who can be a pain in my at times, but he's okay. I enjoy being part of my team even if I do sometimes get into fights with them. She stopped talking even so Maboui just smiled at the blonde-hair woman. The three of them talked for a few hours till they went off to bed, yet Naruto stayed up training till early in the morning. He went back inside only to hear the shower running, which caused him to go inside the bathroom of his room. Once inside he got undressed and entered the shower only to cause Kunoichi, who happened to be the one taking a shower, jump up from the surprise of someone behind her. When she turned around she just smirked at him before she gave him a long passion kiss on the lips. She had hoped that he would join her in the shower. She missed his touch on her skin. She wanted him to play with her body even more. It was a burning desire that won't go out. No matter how many times he touched her, she still needed more. His hands went right for her large rounded. Slowly he played with them before he took one of her hardened into his mouth. He licked and sucked on her while she moved her head back to let out a long moan. These moans were music to his ears. He moved his mouth to her neck before he kissed her neck, then all the way down to her right shoulder. His hands moved down her back to her rear before he grabbed each cheek, then spanked them hard. He could feel the water from the shower hit against their bodies while he played with her. You have something I want and I'm going to make sure that I fully get it. Kunoichi teased him. She just looked down at his tool. He could feel her moving down to her knees before she started to lick against his member. She licked the tip before she moved her tongue all the way down to the base. How she had loved the taste of him. She started to cup his balls with her hands before she took him inside her mouth, feeling him fill up her mouth. She truly loved the feeling of having him inside her mouth. It was something that turned her on greatly. To feel his hard member going in and out of her wet mouth, her tongue moving around it slowly. Soon after he could feel her rubbing up against his hardened tool, yet she didn't slow down at her with her mouth. She wanted to taste him more and more because he had the best in the world in her mind, at least that what she thought. She didn't want to stop playing with her lover's body no matter what. Once he was hard, he moved her back to her feet and turned her around so her rear was facing him. He moved up against her while pushing himself inside of her hard and fast. He started to feel himself filling her up all the way with his balls pushed against her cheeks hard. He started to pump in and out of her hard while his hands grabbed her. He rubbed them hard while going faster inside of her. He could see her mouth open wide in order to moan louder for him to hear. He loved the sound of her moaning and he wanted to play with her harder and harder. Tell me, how much do you want it today, my dear Kunoichi? He asked her by whispering into her ear. I want it bad and I want you to me harder and I want to yell out your name again and again. Kurenai howled back to him. He moved her legs out wider before he pounded against her from behind even harder. He felt the water kept on hitting their bodies yet he didn't care at all. The only thing he cared about was filling her up to the max before he was done with her today. I going make sure I fill you up to the max inside this shower. You will always be my Kurenai Heim and my mate. He told her. He moved his hands to spank her hard which caused her to moan even louder before she just looked back at him. She moved her hands to play with her and pull on her hard and fast. She wanted more and she wanted him to have his way with her even more, her lust was getting had to even control. Yes. Keep me and I'm so close. She yelled back over at him. Naruto just smirked before he picked up his pace to cause her to finally lose it, she covered his tool with her juices. He could see her panting which he had gave her few moments to rest before starting up again. The two of them spent a fun shower tonight and then fun foursome once they got back to bed and noticed other two women up. They just pulled both down with them and started their own fun with the two of them. When Naruto finally started to wake up he noticed all three of them were still sleeping, he didn't blame them for being worn out. He got changed and headed out of the room and headed outside the house. He had noticed the Miko was already up and in the middle of her training. He just walked over to her. When she looked at him she blushed. The whole house had heard his fun last night because the shower fun woke everyone up. Then the foursome just made it hard for anyone to get any sleep at all. You're awake early aren't you? You're out here alone not with your friend this morning? Naruto asked her. It's hard not to be up this early because of all your and moaning that you made them do. I swear you forget you weren't the only one in that house and walls aren't soundproof you do know that right? Tommo told him back. So you heard all of that last time? She nodded yes. How about I help you train to make it up for all that? She gave another nod of her head in a way manner. He had found her small nods to be very cute. He looked at her body then back at her eyes. He had known that she was one beautiful woman, he started to wonder if she stayed true to her Miko code. That was something he figured he would have to find out the hard way. That was also the fun way in Naruto's mind. Naruto released his katana from his arm. He truly did love blood seals that he could place on his body. The two of them looked at each other before both of them rushed at each other. Their blades crashing together while their eyes were locked on one another. They did know that they didn't have to hold back against each other. When they jumped back he noticed her friend had walked over to them. He looked at Shizuka's lavender-colored hair and the fact her outfit showed a lot. His eyes were back to the Miko that was about to attack him, he blocked it then jumped backwards. Whoever wins get to kiss me. Shizuka told them while hoping Tommo won. Naruto smirked while the two of them continued their dance together. Tommo had cut part of his shirt off while he had cut shoulder part of her Miko robe off. Soon Naruto found him topless while Miko was holding her with one hand and glare over at him. Soon Tommo found herself just down to her white panties. You do look very good almost like a goddess. Naruto had teased her. She just looked at him with a blush. She couldn't deny that her eyes were enjoy seeing him topless, part of her wondered what he looks bottomless. She looked at Shizuka whom had seemed to enjoy all of what was going on with the training fight. She didn't want to give in and she rushed at Naruto, their footwork made it seem like they were dancing together. They matched each other perfectly and Tommo was taking the lead in their dance, Naruto watched her. He studied her and soon he was the one that was leading on while Tommo did her best to dodge his attacks. Shizuka couldn't believe how much fun she was having to see all of this in front of her eyes. She never seen Tommo fight against someone that could keep up with her like that, to perfect her movement so perfectly. She really enjoyed seeing the woman she loved without clothes on. She did have to thank Naruto later for that. Naruto knocked her katana out of her hands and moved his arm around her lower back. His mouth so close to hers, and yet she just stared at him. Her face had a deep blush on it. She didn't know what to do at this point. Seems I won this time. You did one hell of a fight. I haven't enjoyed a training fight that much in a very long time. He gave her a light kiss on the lips. Shizuka just glared at him. I'm the one you kiss if you win, not her. She yelled over at him because she didn't want anyone kissing her tommo. Sorry, I'll give you that kiss next. He just smirked back to her. He let tommo go and walked over to Shizuka, which she just still glared at him. She did enjoy seeing him topless even if she loved tommo. Naruto moved his lips to claim hers. His tongue moved around hers, which caught her off guard. His hand moved underneath her tunic to message her right. Shizuka had moaned into the kiss. She couldn't believe how good his hand felt on her beasts. She never met a man that was this skillful. She slowly moved her hand down between his legs. She started to rub him through his pants. She had stopped once tommo pulled them apart with a very strong blush showing. I think that was more than a kiss. She nervously spoke to them. I guess that's true, and how about I get to learn more about you too? First, I think you may want to get a new robe on before the others seen you. Tommo nodded. She went to go back to her room to change. Shizuka on the other hand just gazed over at him. She didn't know what had come over her. She loved tommo, yet she was feeling pulled to him. She didn't understand it at all. She walked up to him. She kissed him once more. She wanted to know what this feeling was. She wanted to see how she felt after this kiss. Naruto moved his hand under her tunic, underneath her black thong to rub your. She couldn't believe she was letting him do that to her. Even so, she couldn't seem to stop him. Her body wanted more. She needed more. She backed away from him before she sat down far away underneath a tree. What do you think should be in the harem? I had many ideas going through my head, still unsure of who I want in it. I was thinking maybe Akino or Graphia would be next ones in it. If you have any thoughts on the pairing, please share them with me.